With that, I'm going to stop rambling. If you have questions for Jamie as she's presenting, again, throw them in the chat. But otherwise, Jamie, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jamie Lumberson. I'm our digital marketing manager over at Help Lightning, and I'm so excited to show you our technology today. We are going to jump into a quick PowerPoint, just an overview of a couple slides so that we can talk about Help Lightning, how it started, and who we are. And then we're actually going to jump into a live demo with Dustin and myself. So with that being said, I am actually going to go ahead and start my screen here. So give me 1 second. Okay. So everyone should see the Help Lightning PowerPoint now. And again, we'll just go through a couple things about how Help Lightning started, who we are, and what we do today. So we'll go ahead and jump right in. Help Lightning actually is a merged reality solution. And you'll see there on the left, it's called Virtual Interactive Presence. That is what we hold our patent on. So Help Lightning was actually built from a neurosurgeon based here in our home office, Birmingham, Alabama. And he was actually thinking about using this to help doctors in third world countries for Parkinson's disease. So that is how the technology actually came about 6-7 years ago at this point, and it's been on the market now over 5 years in the capacity that it's in. So once we moved from not only medical to field service, we realized that this is a technology that can help several individuals, not just in the medical industry. So you'll see a lot of our current customer logos there. We actually have over 90 customers today. Some of those are large enterprise that you see there, like Boston Scientific and HP, and some are users that just have 1 or 2 licenses of Help Lightning. And obviously the use case, as you can imagine, with virtual interactive presence is really unlimited here. So you'll get a better idea when we jump into the live demo of what it can and do to help you as well. So wanted to just kind of briefly touch on the global impact that we are a global company that we service over, this says 50 and we're up to 90 global companies now. So we have about, I would say, 75,000 users using Help Lightning. So just, a technology that is implemented so easily in the sense that what you can see here is remote expertise solution. Now, when you think about remote expertise solution, you're thinking about somebody remotely that needs help. It doesn't matter what they need help with. They need something that's fast and quick, and they need the expert to be there immediately. So that's really where we fall into this space. A lot of individuals think about us as an augmented reality app, but essentially Help Lightning is really just a remote expertise solution. So just to answer a couple quick questions that we usually get, there is no hardware required. So you can use your existing devices. It's compatible with iOS, Android, and a browser version that you can use on your desktop. And you can use this over Wi-Fi or LTE. So there is no purchasing glasses, which can get pretty costly. And typically you're already using something that you already have, which is your phone or your desktop. So this is a solution that it's immediate implementation. As soon as you download the app, and have a license for Help Lightning, you are a user. So we'll kind of explain the difference between a user and a giver and receiver of help as we go into the live demo as well. The quote there that you see on the bottom is from one of our enterprise customers. So they actually are a global cleaning robotic company. And typically when one of their machines is down, just to give you kind of an idea, is going to cost them anywhere between $15,000 to $30,000 if they have to send an engineer globally to fix that type of machine. Well, now they're using Help Lightning. So within the first quarter, they already saved $30,000 just using Help Lightning. They no longer have to deploy engineers or technicians remotely. They can pick up the phone, send a link as we'll do today, and immediately their expert is on site in China, sitting here in the States. So it's definitely a solution, like I've mentioned, that not only can be used on the large enterprise scale, but a small scale as well. So there's two ways that you can use Help Lightning. You'll see here on the left that the remote expert is using it on his desktop, and the on-site technician, or maybe the person that needs help that you're giving help to, can use their phone that's already in their pocket. So that's the first way that you can use Help Lightning. If you choose to use it on your desktop, it looks exactly like it does on your phone. A lot of our customers that maybe sit in-house more at a desk side version choose to use it on their desktop so that they can be hands-free. The second way that you can use Help Lightning is device to device. So you'll see here that the expert on the left is actually using an iPad and an iPad stand. Now he could be using his phone as well. So this could be phone to phone, phone to iPad. Really, in either way that you choose to interact, they're all compatible with each other. So browser, iPad, phone, iOS, and Android devices. We are not device agnostic, so you can choose to really pull up Help Lightning on anything that's already in your pocket. So just wanted to show you both ways that you can use it. And we're actually going to jump right into a live demo so I can show everyone how it works. Now, what I'm going to do is essentially send a text link to Dustin today. So I just want to set up the scenario for everyone. I'm going to be the expert on this call, and Dustin is going to be the customer that needs help. So everyone knows what our roles are here. Now, what I'm going to do is actually switch us over to Help Lightning. So everyone now is going to see Help Lightning. This is what it looks like in the app itself. And when you log on, all of the individuals that would have a license under your team, however many that would be right here under your team contacts. And then if I was the expert and Dustin called me and said, you know, I need help, Jamie, this is what, you know, I need you to help me fix today, I would say, okay, Dustin, what is the best number to send you a text link to?
And that is 765-430-0053.
So what this is doing is actually sending a text link to invite Dustin to a Help Lightning call. Now, your end customer that you are helping, that you are providing help to, never needs a license. Now, what I'm going to do, once the call starts, it says, I will give help or I need help. Now, since I am the expert here, I'm going to say, I will give help for Dustin. Once I click that, this now is going to switch. And there's a couple things. Let me make sure that everyone's seeing this. Is there a delay on the Zoom? Okay, we are back. So I'm gonna actually pull in from my desktop version here, and hopefully everyone will be able to see this a little bit better. There we go. So as soon as I click, I'm going to give help. What this is going to do is now start using, Dustin, go ahead and use your back-facing camera at this point. Perfect. Now, what this is going to allow Dustin to do is point at the, let's call it issue of where he needs help. So there's a couple things that I can do here. And if I said, okay, is this what you need? This is called telestration. Me being able to draw on the screen, Dustin can actually draw on his phone screen as well. So if you go ahead and just draw on your phone screen for me, he said, yes, that is what I need help with. Okay, perfect. So what I want to point out for everybody is that up here in the left-hand corner, all of our Help Lightning calls start recording as soon as you open up the call. Now, there's a lot of different uses for this, one being that you can actually pull these recordings later. They're all downloaded on Help Lightning on your admin version. So I'll show you that at the end of the call of where you can pull these back. Now, down here in the left-hand side, you're gonna see a white button. This is called screen capture. What this allows me to do, if I need to go ahead and take an image, a picture while we're in the call, that allows me to now save that not only on my desktop or phone, but also I can pull that picture later, which I will show you at the end of the call. So couple things that really where the power of Help Lightning comes in is me being able to reach in and say, okay, Dustin, here's what I want you to do. This is the device that we need to work on. So I want you to go ahead and pick up your AirPods here. Perfect. Now, once you pick those up, there should be a latch on the top here where you can actually open them up. So I need you to twist this up to the top. Yes, perfect. Go ahead and twist that up for me. Awesome. Now should be your left pod and this one should be your right. If you don't see a green light here, that means they're not charged. Now you can obviously see where the power comes in of me being able to tell him, hey, this is where I need you to work. This is what I need you to do. So instead of me just verbally telling Dustin what he needs to work on, I can actually reach in and show him what I need him to do. So here's what we're going to do. There's one feature in Help Lightning that's called freeze frame. And what that allows us to do is actually freeze the image, what the customer is looking at or working on. So right now, Dustin's image is now frozen where he can set his device down. He can set his device down. He can work hands-free. Let me make sure everyone can see here. So we're going to go back to merged reality mode so that everybody can see it because I think there's a slight delay over Zoom. Yeah, I'm seeing black screen, see camera. Got it. Perfect. Okay. So as we're back in, and is your back facing camera on, Dustin? I'd assume so, but.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, perfect. So as we're back in merged reality mode, there's a couple things that you can do. If you needed to upload a file, and essentially what that allows you to do is show them photos. Maybe you have an image that you need to share with the customer, essentially being able to upload photos while you're on the call. So being able to upload photos, I can still telestrate on photos. I can zoom in and zoom out on photos. This is very useful when you're on the call and you need to just immediately show them an image of what we're looking at. As well as photos, you can upload PDF files. So if I needed to share, maybe it was something that was a little bit more in depth that we needed to read through together, we can do that together and I can share PDF files immediately with Dustin. So this is what it would look like. You can read through it together. You can telestrate on things and you can go page by page by page. So PDFs and photos that you have on your desktop, you can share. Now, you can also add a third party onto the call. So exactly how Dustin and I initiated this call today, it's called My Help Space. And I mentioned earlier that you do not need, your customer does not need a license for Help Lightning. The reason they don't need a license for Help Lightning is because only the giver of help is going to be sending the My Help Space links. So right now in a call, you can have up to 3 individuals on the call, no more than 3 at this time. And we'll go back into a merged reality mode so that we can see. Here we go. We're going to go back into merged reality mode just so I can show everyone one more thing and make sure that your back facing camera is on, Dustin, or that your camera is allowed here. We're showing one more time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I have it on, but.
There we go.
Oh, I had it shut off. That's why.
Yeah. So make sure your back facing camera's on. So essentially, if Dustin's working on his AirPods today, go ahead and get your back facing camera for me.
Yeah, I'm trying. Sorry.
That's okay. So essentially, if Dustin was the customer and he was the one that needed help, there's a lot of times where maybe you don't need to reach in, or maybe you don't need to put the merged reality to use, but most of the time you do. Most of the time when you actually need to reach in, and I don't want to reach in and touch Dustin, but you can obviously see here what the cause is and what you can do. There's several different use cases here, obviously, where this is going to be useful from a training perspective. So I'm going to talk about that as we end the call here, just so I can show you what the admin side of it looks like. So a lot of times, the interaction of me being able to reach in and show him where I need him to work is going to be a lot more useful than me just verbally telling him. So that could be that if you're using this for training purposes, for remote job coaching, that maybe you're giving them verbal cues, and it would be a lot more helpful if you could actually show them the interaction. If you were maybe the interviewer and you were in front of them and it was like a real interview, you know, what do they do with their hand? There's a lot of different use cases that I think that would be helpful for your scenario. So a couple of things that I want to do as I end the call here, so that everyone knows what happens to a Help Lightning call once the call ends. So obviously everyone sees the power here of merged reality, me being able to reach into Dustin's environment. I just have a white pad on my desk here, so I have a very clean background, which is what you would want to use if you are giving help, so you don't have a lot of interference. I'm actually going to end the Help Lightning call, and then I'm going to show everybody that at the end of the call, there's a couple different things you can do here. So you can actually add tags to your calls, and you can name it whatever you want. It's really for your organization purposes. And then you can add comments as well. So maybe you want to add the name of the individual, of who you were helping, what the topic was, so that you can look at it later. Now, once you click done, you can actually go back into your recent calls and look at all the details of the call. So it's going to tell you when the call occurred, the details of the call itself. So I'll open one up. So what it allows you to do is download the recording, and you can use this for training purposes later. So if you wanted to send the recording of whoever you were working with, you can send that to them. You can also send them any images that you took while you were in the call itself. And then down here, you'll see where we put in our tags and our comments. That's actually where you're going to find your calls. So if you start using Help Lightning on a pretty regular basis, you don't want to have to scroll through to figure out which call it was or watch the entire video. You would just go to your recent calls, and you would type in whatever the name of the call was, and that tag would start to pop up for you. So just from an admin's perspective of what Help Lightning looks like, you can see how many calls were made. You can see any users that are using it and what they've been able to do with it, any recent calls here, and then obviously your recents as well. So this is all from an admin's perspective of what Help Lightning looks like on the back end. I do see a couple questions coming in, so I'm going to go ahead. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and look at those questions and try to answer some of these for you.
While you're reading those, I'm going to address one. There was a question about what are the trainings of Help Lightning's employees to work with people with disabilities. That is actually something that Help Lightning is just providing the platform so that any agency, job coach, person can use their platform to do this. So they don't actually provide that service. It's just a platform that they're providing.
Correct. Yeah. So we have training internally on how to use Help Lightning, and that would be for the individual that is purchasing a license for Help Lightning. And we do have a customer success team here internally that if you decide to purchase licenses for Help Lightning, they will set up an entire training for you so that you know how to use it both for yourself and externally for your customers. So one of the questions that I see here is, I would assume you send the request via email if it was a tablet or there was no phone number available. Yes, so Stephen, you can send the My Help Space via text link or email. Either way will work, and everything is in browser, so they'll never have to download the app. The end customer that you're working with and will essentially click the text link like Dustin did today, and it starts to initiate a call. So just to answer that, yes, you can send the request via email and phone number. Another question from Heather said, can you change the opacity of the prompt hand? So yes, to answer that in simple layman's terms, you can always switch between the role on the call, which means you can switch between the giver and the receiver of help. So to answer that question, Heather, yes, you can always switch between who is giving help and receiving help on the call. Couple more questions here. Can be supported by evidence based on research with video modeling. So great. Let's see. I think we had a couple more here. What are the trainings your employees receiving to work? Yep, I think Dustin already answered that. Anything else that we have questions on? And I did want to let everybody know that I am going to send a follow-up email to all the attendees today with more detailed information on Help Lightning. And then if you're interested in setting up a call one-on-one, I'm happy to send my Calendly link in that follow-up email as well and answer any specific questions you may have about the technology or purchasing license. So I will send that follow-up email to everyone afterwards.
And Jamie, for those people that aren't watching this live today, that are watching this in a recording in the future, what is the best way for them to get in touch with either you or Help Lightning if they want to engage?
Yeah, so the best way is by my email, which I can actually leave my email here in the chat. And that way they'll be able to see that as well. And it's just jamie.lumberson@helplightning.com. As well as you can go to our website and there is a show me button. If you fill out the show me form, it immediately goes to me and I can set up a call with you individually and set up a one-on-one demo.
And that is exactly how I started to engage Help Lightning, and they've been amazing to work with. So actually, Jamie, there's another quick question that just popped in. It said, is there an option to turn off the recording feature?
Yes, you can turn off the recording on each individual call before it starts, or you can choose to have all recordings turned off for all calls. So that's completely up to you. On the back end, we can help you out with turning all recordings off if you don't need any of them recording, but individually you can choose to turn them off and on yourself as well per call.
Great. And then a quick follow-up on the changing the color of the hand. Can you make it less see-through, your hand, so that it's more prominent on the screen? And
yeah, so there's a couple different ways that I can talk about that on a one-on-one call, and it's really just the environment that you're in and what camera you're using. So if you have a dimmer, which all of our iPhones or Androids do, you actually want to turn the light up on your phone. So yes, is the answer to that question.
Okay, great.
So one more, any examples of use in rehab services such as occupational or speech therapy? Erin, let me check on that for you and send you a one-on-one email and see if there's any use cases that we have for that. And then someone did ask about cost quotes. I will definitely send that up in the follow-up email as well so that we can set up a one-on-one call if you're interested in costs. And then we have a couple more minutes if there's any other questions. And again, feel free to reach out to me to set up more of a one-on-one call. And I'm happy to do another live demo, just one-on-one as well, if you had anybody from maybe your team that would like to see the technology.
And I'm just curious, for those of you that are on, how are you envisioning using this? I mean, obviously there's some use cases in our field to support people, and I think they're pretty broad. So, you know, if anybody has any ideas out there that you want to share, go ahead and throw them in the chat. And yeah, Jamie, this was great. Sorry for the issues with the demo right at the beginning, but I think we got it, and I think people saw it, and you did a great job.
No, thank you so much. And again, if anyone wants to see just more of an in-depth, I'm happy to do a one-on-one demo as well. I'll get that follow-up email out this afternoon with my information and more information on Help Lightning, and I look forward to hearing from everyone. Hope everyone has a great afternoon.
Great. Thank you, Jamie. I really appreciate it. And Thanks for attending the Tech Huddle this week. We do have one next week. You can just go see all of those at disabilitycocoon.com. More great stuff coming. So thanks, everyone. And Jamie, thank you again. We'll talk to you all soon in the
Thank
future.
you.